podcast, I bring you the 9 freedoms, which I believe to be the greatest wisdom on earth, with practical ways to give global service and attain enlightenment.
What if one decision could change everything? Cherise Evans, best-selling author of The Power of One, The 5 Essential Keys to Success, knows that transformation starts within. Let Cherise help you discover your authentic self and live with confidence, purpose, and joy. Whether you're ready to grow your career, your relationships, or your mindset, Cherise can show you how to elevate. Book with her today at shareevans.com.
Are you ready to change and grow? Wherever you are in your spiritual journey, I'm here to help. I'm Tristan Stoicki, a shaman, astrologer, and host of Musings and Modalities. Tune in every second and fourth Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific as I cover a variety of topics and share techniques to work with astrology, your birth chart, past life healing.
Welcome to the Wisdom Channel. Bring love to the playground with Lisa Eve. Hi, I am Lisa Eve, here to help you reconnect with your inner wisdom, heal your heart, and live with more love and joy. Life isn't always easy, but what if it could feel lighter, more playful, and more you? In each episode, I'll share real talk, soul insight, and messages I'm guided to deliver. These are reminders of your power, your worth, and your ability to grow through anything. We'll explore self-love, spiritual connection, healing, and ways to bring more love into your everyday life. So let's take a breath, open your heart, and let's begin. I'm Lisa Eve, and welcome back to the Wisdom Channel. Bring love to the playground. This week and this episode will be all about relationships, and it's going to be a jam-packed hour of a lot of content, so please stay tuned. And what I want to ask you is, do you feel alone in your relationship right now? Do you feel like you're the only one in your relationship right now? Do you feel like you have had enough of feeling alone and isolated in your relationship? Well, then this episode is going to be for you, because it's called Stop Settling. And we are going to talk all about what it means to be in a relationship, how to get along with your partner, and how to get along with yourself and be okay with being by yourself. And it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we're going to start the show, as I do every episode, with hand on heart. Okay, you're going to put any hand on your heart if you are in a private space where you feel comfortable to do this. And close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. We're going to do in through the nose and out through the mouth. So let's begin. You're going to take one more for good measure. And open your eyes when you're ready. So when was the last time that you were alone? And I'm not just talking about in your relationship. I'm talking about not being in a relationship, choosing to be single for a while. When was the last time that that happened for you, that you decided to say, no, I need to take time for myself? Even if it's been a long time, I would encourage you to try that for a little while, or maybe a long while, because there's nothing wrong with being by yourself. even though it's been marketed for centuries, long time, decades, right? That the way that life is supposed to go and work is that you're supposed to grow up and find a partner, settle down, have some babies, and get on with life. Yet, where is you time in all of this? When you're growing up, okay, but when you're growing up, you're learning so much about yourself and about others. And whether you grew up in a single parent household, or you had two parents, or you had grandparents, or aunts and uncles, or friends taking care of you, you learned at a very young age what a relationship looks like or doesn't look like. You may have grown up in a household where cheating was the norm, where maybe you witnessed your mother, a single mother, sleeping with a married man. And you didn't understand it, but you thought that was the way life was supposed to be. Or you saw your father being abused by your mother, yelling at your father all the time, and vice versa. So how we grow up watching the adults and the parents and people in our lives in relationship is usually how we come about in our own relationships with one another. And I'm not saying any of it is right or wrong. I'm just letting you know that it's okay if you're having difficulties and struggling through your relationships at this present time because of what you've learned growing up. So at a certain point, you're going to want to be in a relationship. Maybe you feel these feelings when you're a toddler. You know, when we play doctor, we play house with other kids in the neighborhood. And we, again, are leading by example from what we've seen in our households, how to act in house, how we're playing house, how we're playing doctor, doctor. So we're gonna like learn as we go, right? We're always learning. So we're learning by example. And when you're an adult, how often have you settled in relationships that just didn't feel good? Somehow, deep inside yourself, you felt like something doesn't feel right. Okay? Now, we've all heard happy wife, happy life. But that's not true. I'm here to say that cannot be a default for anyone in a marriage. Okay, women, we are amazing. We are the birthers of life. We bring life into existence, but you would not have been able to do that without a man. Okay? I don't know what's coming in the future. It might not be the case in the future, but right now, how you came to life on earth is from a man and a woman coming together. So to emasculate a man, to tell a man he's not needed in a relationship, to say that the only person who matters in the relationship is the woman is wrong, in my personal opinion, because both people need to be happy. Both people deserve to be happy. Both people deserve to experience a fulfilling life. I mean, we are not coming to Earth to experience crap all the time or abuse all the time, even if you feel like, or it feels like, the world is full of that, which it is. And in your own life, you don't have to experience that. Compromise is great. Let's compromise on things. Settling though, no. It is one thing to compromise on your beliefs as long as the other person is also compromising. But if it's lopsided, if it's like one person is always doing the compromising and the other person is just, I'm just going to sit back because my life is made for me. We all feel like the world revolves around us, especially women. We feel like we are the bomb.com, and we are. We are amazing. We are the SHIT, okay? And we need men. Men are amazing too. Men are also the bringers of life to our planet. So how can we work together? How can we work together to bring about a resolution that works for both parties? I'm going to take a deep breath here, okay? Everything I share in my episodes is from my own experience. I've been on this planet almost 50 years, and I have been in relationships where I was like, I gotta make this work. I need this relationship. And very attached. And attachment is, it's so icky. It's so icky. And I learned in I would say the last decade of my life, I was starting to work on, at the beginning of the decade, I was starting to work on releasing my attachment. And because attachment is like you're holding on. You're holding on so tight, you're gripping with so much might. Okay? You're like, come to me. Like, I gotta have it, I gotta have it, I gotta have it. How many of you feel attached in your relationships? Like you gotta have the other person, you gotta make them yours, you gotta, like, they have to do what you want them to do. Even like if you're going out on a play date, right? We're gonna bring play into this. So we want to play and we want to have fun in our relationships, but how many of your relationships don't feel like fun? How long have you been tolerating something that feels like, ugh, like you're holding on so tightly, there's no air, right? Like when we talk fast, when we are speaking our truth, we're passionate about something, and we sometimes don't let the other person get a word in. We don't let them have their own input. We don't think they know what's best. And it's true that you know what's best for you. But if you're in a relationship with someone and you never let them speak their truth, you never let them believe that their words are worthy of being heard, then you're not in a relationship. You're dominating somebody else. You're wanting to control the other person. And that's not a relationship. If you want to bring babies into this world, don't you want to bring them in with love? Don't you want them to feel loved? And I'm especially speaking to you if you felt like you were not loved when you were younger. If you felt like you grew up in a household where love was not present, where you didn't feel respected, where you didn't feel heard, where you definitely didn't feel seen for who you were, wouldn't you want to do things differently going forward? Isn't it important to bring love to the playground and into the world? And I know a lot of you, if not all of you, want to be loved. You want to feel love in your lives. And the way that we do that is by coming home to ourselves, to our hearts. So how do we stop settling in our relationships? We stop tolerating what isn't love, what doesn't feel good in our relationships. I'm going to talk about dreams for a moment, because we all have had dreams, whether they are literal or emotional, or people tell you, dream of the life you want to have, dream of the relationship you want to have. What is your best possible dreamy relationship, right? Well, if you're somebody who dreams vividly, you might have dreams that foretell your future. Not all dreams are pleasant. Some dreams you would probably prefer not to have. For example, if you're in a relationship and you have a dream that your partner is cheating. Has that ever happened to you? Where you wake up in the morning and you're just like, crap. And you feel like, oh, that's not good. And then you tell your partner, I had a dream that you cheated on me. What's the person going to say? They're going to deny it, especially if they're trying to cover their tracks. Or they might just say, I don't know what you're talking about, or I'm not cheating on you. But intuitively, you have felt that something is not right. Women, do not deny your intuition, please. You have very strong intuition. It is very important that you honor your intuition, even if you're like, I don't want to end this relationship because you don't want to be alone. It is not better to settle in any type of relationship where your emotional needs are not being met. Cheating is something that comes about because we feel insecure and don't want to be alone, and our needs are not being met. Cheating happens because we are looking for something that is not being met inside the relationship. And then someone on the outside of the relationship might be giving you the attention that you want, or being appreciated. Men want to be appreciated in their relationships. They want to feel like they make a difference in your life. And if you're feeling like, ugh, I don't need a man, I can do this on my own, then men are going to be like, what's my purpose here? What can I give to this person? So if someone on the outside starts showing attention to your man in a way that you don't, then he might want to go in that direction. When people cheat on us, we like to always blame that person. Oh, he cheated on me. Such a bad person. But we also need to look at ourselves. What are we not bringing into this relationship that is not like, when are we not loving in the relationship? We need to take personal responsibility for how our partners show up in relationships. If we don't like the way they're showing up in the relationship, then we need to talk about it. And if we're not talking about it, then things can happen. And this goes for the men too. Before you cheat, and look, men and women cheat, okay? Neither one is better than the other. However you go about doing it. The question I have for you is, why are you cheating? Before you cheat, ask yourself, why do you cheat? Why do you want to cheat? Why does it feel like you need to cheat? Are you doing it to prove a point? Ask yourself these questions before you cheat. Okay? So in your dreams, you might feel like your partner is cheating. You wake up, you tell them, they deny it, but you feel strongly still it's true. So the question is, what do you do with the information? Because you're going to always look for evidence of that person cheating. You're going to look at their friends. You're going to speculate. You're going to probably want to break into their computer and look at their emails or look into their phone. But at that point, wouldn't it be wise to say this relationship is not working if I have to go to these lengths? If you're feeling insecure in your relationship, that's a sign. It's a sign that something is not working. Because when you come together with your partner, you want to hope, believe, feel like you can get through anything together. Whether it's like a Bonnie and Clyde, you're a power couple, whatever it is for you. We all dream of and want that perfect partner who will have our back, who will love us unconditionally, who will enjoy being around us all the time. Or maybe you want to be able to have your own private time, your own alone time to recoup your energy when you need it. Go into your man cave, your woman cave, wherever that is, and not have your partner take it personal that you need to do that. You want to be in relationships where you are respected, not tolerated. So before you cheat, ask yourself why you're cheating or why you're thinking about it. And then go to your partner. Go to your partner and say, I feel this way. And if your partner can't answer you in a way that feels like they respect that you're coming to them. There needs to be two people who are willing to communicate with each other, to talk about the hard things before you cheat. It's not enough to say, well, he or she cheated on me, so I'm out. If you really value the relationship and you really value the person who you're in relationship with, then before you cheat, you will have the communication. And if you don't feel like there's space in the relationship to communicate, or you don't feel like you'll be heard because you've tried it before and it didn't work, then you'll want to consider that that's not the relationship for you. So coming back to, when was the last time you were alone? Not in a relationship. When was that? If you have to think long and hard about the last time you were single for, let's say, more than a year, I would encourage you that it's time for you to spend more time with yourself. The way that we're able to grow from our last relationship or all of our relationships is when a relationship ends, it can take time for you to heal your heart. It can take time for you to grieve the ending. It can take time for you to learn what it was that didn't work and how you want to move forward. It doesn't mean you'll be alone forever. It just means that you're willing to do the work to understand your heart better so that you can attract the type of person that really is a great match for you. So I have not been in a lot of long-term relationships. I would say that's by choice. My longest was 3 years, and that was out of college. in the 90s. Yes, 1990s. Okay, late 1990s. And I definitely spiraled after that relationship because I thought we would get married and do the thing that we are supposed to do, get married, have kids, blah, 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 right? But it ended. And I was just looking for love in all the wrong places after that. I was young, I was free, and I did whatever I wanted to do. But mostly, I was looking for love, excuse me, with people who also did not know who they were. I mean, when you're in your 20s, you're young, you just don't know who you are yet. And we think we're supposed to just be with someone. Like I said at the beginning, I mean, even fairy tales, stories that are read to us when we're young, we think that life is supposed to be about finding love. But if we can't look at ourselves and find the love within ourselves, then we're always looking to somebody else to fill that need for us. And it's really nobody's job except for our own to learn what it is and how we want to be loved. I mean, if we don't know who we are, then we're not going to know what we need, what love is for us that we need. We'll just look to the movies and we'll look to the things that we read, and we'll look at celebrities and everything online and the magazines and who and what they tell you. And we'll even look at astrology, and astrology will tell us based on our birth chart who's the right match for us. But then we might meet that person, we're like, I don't think so. So like, we really have to learn ourselves, and sometimes it can take decades. So after a string of really bad relationships and settling for men who looked good on the outside, I mean, I've been with some very attractive men, very attractive, and I know their hearts are good, just that when they don't know who they are and I don't know who I am, then it's not a good match. And also, women don't want to feel like objects. I mean, I know sex sells, but at a certain point, it doesn't. Okay? It just doesn't work for a lot of women. I grew up in a conservative family, and I grew up with us, like, we are more conservative in our attire. Yet, I would have friends growing up be like, girl, you need to show your tatas. You need to like show some cleavage when you go out on a date. But I wouldn't want to do that. I don't want to lead with that because there have been too many times when I settled for sex with someone who I didn't want to be with, who I may have given into, but I didn't feel comfortable doing so. And, women, we are, for too long, we've been raped and abused physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the things. And I think that, or I feel that we settle if a man is doting on us, loving us, but like they're not really love. It's not really love. But if they are giving us sex or they want sex with us, we might feel like, oh, they love us, because they want our bodies. But men at a certain age, sex is the only thing that's on their mind. And if a man is not secure in who he is, then he's also looking for love in other ways. I took a class, Understanding Men by Alison Armstrong, probably in the early 2000s. Great class. And men and women do think differently. We think very differently from each other. Men want to help us. They want to fix things. And they are also very sensitive, even though we believe or we are being taught that men are supposed to be strong. They're strong, they're going to have our back. They can take care of things. Yes, they can fix things. They can put things together, but they also want to help us somehow. They want love too. And to put them into a box where it's like you're only good for XYZ, like you're only here to fix things, you're only here to solve the problems. You know, any type of stereotype that we put men or women into, it's never going to work out great for either party. So again, bringing the focus back on ourselves to learn what it is that we need. Spending time alone is the way to get there. And because of what we've been taught, most people go from one relationship to the other, like thinking the next one is going to be the one. The next one is going to give me everything that I need. The next relationship is going to, be the one that lasts forever. But if we're not taking time between the relationships to learn what happened, learn where we are responsible, learn about what we actually need in love to be fulfilled and feel happy, like what brings you joy when you're by yourself? Are you able to go to the movies by yourself? Well, I don't know how many of us still go to the movies, but if you're able to go to dinner by yourself, if you're able to take yourself out on a date, you need to learn what it is that brings you joy when you don't have someone around you. Because if anything should happen ever where you do need to be alone for a little while, you want to be able to be okay in your own company. So after I spiraled out of control in my 20s, I would say for a good part of my 30s and 40s, I was taking time. I mean, I definitely would still grieve when somebody, whether it's a week-long relationship, a 2-week relationship, whatever that was, or a month or 3 months or whatever it was, when it ended, I would grieve. It doesn't matter how long it is. I say, thank you for the lessons. Let me process this. Let me see what I've learned from this. And what can I bring going forward to the table? What can I bring into another relationship? What am I looking for in a partner now? What is it that I feel like I deserve? Okay, so we want to stop settling for less than what feels comfortable. So, don't settle. Don't say, okay, I don't want to be alone, so I'm going to go into this relationship that doesn't feel right for me. It's more so, I'm going to take just a little bit more time to be single because this person who crossed my path, he looks good on the outside. But there are some things that he's saying that really doesn't feel good to me. Or she looks hot. She's a 10. But I don't like the way that she treated that person. Or I don't like the way she treated my friend. Or I don't like the way she treated that server. When we're out in public and how people speak to people in service is a really good indication. of what that person is like in private. If there is somebody yelling at a server in public, I wouldn't want to get into a home where the door is closed with that person. Because if they can be violent or loud and don't feel embarrassed in public, if someone can be loud in public and they don't feel embarrassed by their actions, or they can't be kind, if they can't be kind in public, it's a good indication of what you could receive at home with them. Use that as a barometer when you're on a date. Okay? And it's time for you to start trusting yourself more. As a wise teacher once told me, you need to honor yourself more, Lisa. Honor yourself more. Honor yourself more. About these dreams. For those of you who are sensitive, you are very intuitive. You are deeply empathic. If you have vivid dreams about people in your life, please write them down. Please take them to heart. While yes, it can be your subconscious, it can also be you receiving premonitions. I'm going to talk briefly about black magic and rituals. I read in The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Just here, there on screen. Okay. So in the first agreement, which is be impeccable with your word. Words have power. Words have power. Words have energy. So do our thoughts. And when we're younger, because of how we're raised and taught about relationships, and especially because we're coming into puberty and all the things when we're young, we're like sponges. We're sponges when we're growing up, but we're sponges also as teenagers for love. And we might dabble in some spell books, some witchcraft. This is where we're like coming into learning more about ourselves and what we like. And even as young adults or adults, we might want something that we can't have. So also, we might have friends that stab us in the back and sleep with our boyfriends or go after men that we like. I don't know why women do this to other women. I don't know why we do this to each other. We're sisters. And the same thing with men to men, like doing your brother dirty. It's all because we all want love. So we try and get it from wherever we can. So now let's say There's someone you want to be with desperately. You feel like they're supposed to be yours. Okay? Again, we're not objects. We're human beings with feelings. But when we're younger, we see each other as, I gotta have this person. I want to be with that person. So we may dabble in some rituals or spells, curses, to get what we need. And unfortunately, this happens in adulthood as well. And this is why it's so important to spend time by yourself, alone, not alone like lonely. You can be lonely and longing for love, but until you get to a place where you feel strong and aware and enjoy your time alone, you will always be searching, grabbing onto, wanting, needing, attaching to, or feeling like this person has to be yours in your everyday. So we have all, according to the Four Agreements, we have all probably done black magic, because he's Don Miguel Ruiz, he talks about how a negative thought about another person is like casting a spell. It is speaking negativity onto another. And we've all have had negative thoughts. We've all had feelings where we didn't like a person, or like, how many times when you were younger did you say, I wish you would die, or I hate you? And those words have power over that person. They have power energetically. And it's, how do we be impeccable with our love towards one another? So we've all experienced black magic as a negative thought or a negative word that we've said about another, whether it's in gossip or to the person's face, behind their back, whatever it is. But when we're adults, there comes a time when we need to say, you know what? I need to take time to learn and understand myself. I need to take responsibility for my own thoughts, my own words, and my own actions, so that I actually attract into my life the person I feel like I deserve to be with. And that is a loving, kind, respectful human being. In your dreams, if you have a dream about somebody who is doing black magic, or, for example, because this has happened, for me, I've seen this in my own dreams. I like somebody, but I wouldn't say I'm attracted to them. Okay? I've gone out on a date with them and I didn't like their personality. Something about it didn't work for me. That night, I have a dream where I'm in love with the person. I'm literally falling in love with the person. The next morning, I wake up, I call the person, and I'm like, I just have to tell you, I love you. What the heck happened? Okay? I knew, I was like, I did not love this person before. I did not want to be with them. And then all of a sudden, the next day, I'm in love with them? What? Okay. So when that happens to you, take a moment, take a step back. No one has power over you. You have free will to make the right choices for you. Okay? And so anyone, though, who feels like they're so desperate that they have to create a love spell to be with you, that's settling. That person is basically saying, I don't love myself enough to be alone by myself. And instead, I have to force someone to be with me. That is someone who's very insecure and is very afraid to be alone and definitely does not want to do their work. That is not someone you want to be in a relationship with. Equally, you're saying to yourself, you don't love yourself. If you feel like you have to force someone else to love you, you're saying to yourself that you don't love yourself. Bring love to your playground. Please bring love to you. Like if you hurt yourself somehow, some way, could be small, could be big, like you stub your toe or something. Do you yell at your toe? How dare you do that to me? Do you yell at your brain? Do you yell at yourself? Instead, say, I'm so sorry. I was not present. I was not looking where I was going. My mind was preoccupied. Just say sorry to your body. And if you can never say sorry to yourself, or you cannot ever say, I'm sorry, I love you, when you look in the mirror, it's a place to start for you to stop settling with how you treat yourself. Because how you treat yourself is how you're going to treat a partner. And when that partner doesn't love you, you're going to ask yourself why. And it's because you don't love yourself. So please, men and women, stop settling. Wherever you are in your journey of relationships, please stop settling. You deserve so much more. You deserve to honor yourself more. I just want to take a few quick moments to look at my notes, because I know we've covered a lot, and that's what I felt like for this episode. We sometimes don't like to be alone, but it's the only way for us to actually learn ourselves and do the work that it takes to uncover, whether it's years of abuse in our families, years of abuse in relationships. And mind you, I'm talking about romantic relationships on this episode. However, how we do one area of our lives is how we do all areas. So this will apply to your friendships and to your work relationships. Like if it's hard for you to keep female friendships, it was for me for a long time. I had difficulty with female friends. I didn't make female friends easily. Why? Because I was struggling with how I looked at myself. I was struggling with how I treated myself. And also there's other dynamics that came into it, but I had to really say, I'm a great woman. I'm a beautiful woman. I love myself, and I love the time that I have with myself. And if I want to go do something, I can go do it. I have the courage, the strength to go do things I love to do, and I don't wait on other people to do it with me. I can go and eat by myself. I've gone to the movies by myself. I've even gone to concerts by myself. It is less fun, but I'm still glad I went. Okay? Like, I don't want to miss out on life because I don't have someone to go do things with. And I like my company. Like, I've lived alone for a long, long time without a roommate, is what I mean, or without a partner. And I'm good. Okay? I'm good, and you can be too. Being alone doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It means that you value yourself. So just going to take a quick look at the notes. Are you happy? These are some questions I want to ask you. Are you happy in your relationships? All of your relationships? Is there something that's not working for you? If there's something not working for you, what is it? Can you talk about it with your friend, with your partner? Can you talk about it? If you can't talk about it, if there's no space for you to be heard in your relationships, that's a sign. Take back your power. Take back your power to be with yourself, to understand yourself. If you feel alone in your relationship, again, talk to your partner, talk to your friends, talk to whoever it is that you can talk to. Listen to your heart. Bring love back to yourself. If you're feeling attached, like, oh, I really like this person, I want to spend all this time with them. Take a moment, breathe. Learn what it's like to not feel attached. Give yourself and the people you want to be in a relationship with the opportunity where there's space. There's space there for both of you. Are you choosing your relationship, or did you just accept it? Are you choosing the relationship that you're in? Or are you just settling? Are you just settling for what is? You know what's best for you. Trust your intuition, trust your feelings, trust your heart. Someone who wants to control you in a relationship, get out. Have self-respect. Take back your power. Honor yourself. Don't be in a relationship just because that's what's expected of you in your family. Or let's say everyone else is in a relationship except for you. I would say just say, okay. If you're the odd man or the odd woman out at the dinner table at yet another Thanksgiving where you're the single one, just let it be. You can even celebrate the fact that you're not in a relationship. You've got all this free time to yourself. Yay, you can go do whatever the F you want. You are free. You're free to do whatever you want, whenever you want. Free as a bird, free as a butterfly, okay? I just want to know, why are you so afraid to be alone? It means nothing bad about you. Allow yourself to be free, to see what it is about you that's so lovable, because we're all lovable. We all have love that we bring to the table, and we are all lovable. Find out what that is. If you have difficulty taking time in between relationships, it's an opportunity for you to learn something about yourself. Next time you come out of a relationship, take time. Be by yourself. Do the work to learn, why did that relationship end? Take responsibility, because it takes two for a relationship to come together and for it to break apart. Being chosen versus choosing. Make sure you choose the partner you want to be with. Don't do it, or don't just accept what is because they chose you. You might feel like it's like an ego boost. Oh my God, they like me. They think I'm attractive. Just wait. Just wait and get to know the person and decide whether or not you choose them as well. Husbands, it's not just happy wife. You need to be happy too. Your feelings matter too. If your feelings don't matter in the relationship, you're going to want to talk to your wife about that. Just going through my notes, making sure we have covered everything, because we're almost at the hour. But I hope you've really learned something in this episode about yourself and your power and what you deserve, because everyone deserves love, and we also deserve to give ourselves love. It takes work to do that. Okay, you just need to be by yourself, learn more about yourself. But everyone can do it. So you want to look at the patterns that you keep repeating in different relationships. What patterns do you keep repeating that you see? in all the relationships that have ended. Check in on that. You want to ask yourself, what did this relationship teach me about myself? So that you don't bring that into your next relationship. You want to ask yourself, what are your needs? What are my needs? What do I need actually in a relationship besides sex? What do I need? What are your boundaries in relationships? Do you have boundaries? You might want to look into what are your boundaries. Like, you don't date someone who smokes. You can't be with someone who smokes. That could be a boundary. Honor that. Just because the guy looks good or the girl looks good, don't just get into the relationship if that's a boundary that gets crossed. Don't settle for things that you know are not good for you. The space in between relationships is called integration. You need that time. Take that time. Okay, and responsibility is about learning and not blaming. Don't blame the other person. Look at yourself. Where did you cross your own boundaries in that last relationship? It takes two to tango. I would say, men, please honor your sensitivity. If you have sensitivity, if you're empathic, honor your intuition as well. Even if the girl looks good, even if the guy looks good, please honor your intuition. And when emotions are not expressed, it can come out as anger, it can come out as cheating. You can shut down, you could avoid, but cheating instead of communicating is not the answer. And the same applies whether you're a woman or a man. Just remember, life is created by two people. We need each other. How can we respect our sisters and our brothers more? How can we respect each other more? How can we respect ourselves more? How can we love ourselves more? This is how we bring love to the playground. The playground is life. And we all have the ability to love ourselves more deeply, understand ourselves more deeply, respect ourselves more deeply, so that we can respect others, be kind with others, and attract that into our lives. Relationships should be built on love, not coercion, not force, not control, not manipulation. At a certain point, we need to be impeccable with ourselves. Our words that we want with another, we need to be honoring with ourselves first. Relationships should be a partnership, not a struggle. If you do struggle, then communicate with your partner, please, before you cheat. And lastly, when you're meeting somebody and you have butterflies, is that a sign of your nervous system being activated, or is it true excitement? Please check in with yourself. And you will only know this if you've learned yourself. Sometimes safe can be boring, but safe feels peaceful in your body. Maybe let that be the norm for a little while. Don't you deserve to have peace in your body? You deserve to feel calm in your relationships. You deserve to feel safe. And you deserve to feel peace in your life. I am Lisa Eve. Thank you for listening to the Wisdom Channel. Bring love to the playground, airing every second and fourth Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Remember, self-love is the foundation of your happiness, so take one small step today to nurture your beautiful self. To go deeper on your healing and self-discovery journey, pick up my book, The Love Channel, Finding Your Way to Happiness, available now on Amazon. And for daily inspiration and uplifting content, visit thehappychannel.com. Until next time, keep your heart open, walk your path with love, and never forget, you have the power to heal.